Welcome to another episode of Broken Controller Club's Bad Games Summer, where I spend the summer playing bad games for your enjoyment. You know what to do if you like what you see, and if you really love the channel, then consider getting some merchandise from the store. Link is in the description. And if you use the code RAGEQUIT at checkout, you'll get 15% off your order. Alright, I don't know how I'm doing this review sober, but let's do it. So to put it plainly, Bounty Battle is one of the worst games I've ever played, and an even worse Smash clone, if it can even be called that. I'm aware that's saying something considering the bad games I've reviewed so far this year and including last year, but this one is so bad that it actually made me hate it. My regulars know that I love fighting games, and I've always been more of a Street Fighter and Tekken fan over anything else. Now, I like Smash Brothers, but honestly, it's not even in my top 10 favorite fighting games. For the hardcore Nintendo or Smash fans out there, I don't dislike it by any means, I just enjoy a lot of other fighters more, and Smash always kind of felt more like a party game to me. I'm pointing out Smash specifically because that's the game Bounty Battle is closest to. It's a game that at first looks like a Smash clone and kind of acts like one. You've got your regular and special attacks, a grab and roll dodge, and a separate jump button. The opening cinematics give you some hope that the game will be fun. The music is decent too, and you've got all these popular indie game characters getting a quick intro. Then you hit the main menu, which honestly is so vague that I didn't know how to get around it first. You can barely tell that each heading is meant to be cycled from left to right, and then you move down to your choices. There are no game options like changing the difficulty, and by default, the sounds are whisper quiet, except for the announcer who so badly wants to sound like Hulk Hogan that I was expecting him to call me brother or Hulkamaniac with each selection.
Bounty Battle! The Penitent versus Atlas. New game! A new challenger!
The single-player options are bare bones, and they don't describe what they actually are for except for the tutorial. So tournament mode just takes you through 5 different matches. There is no character select, so you're stuck with one character to begin with, and then beating it with her will let you move on to the next character, and so on. Challenge mode is more like arcade mode, where you can actually pick whoever you want from the character select screen, except the order you fight everybody in doesn't ever change, no matter who you pick. The computer's AI in this ranges from being a punching bag to this evil death machine that one-shots you in the face and then curb stomps you afterward just to let you know who the boss is. So no, I never beat challenge mode. In both modes, you get points or currency for mixing up attacks and playing well, and you'll also be penalized for spamming special moves. Use your special attack too much, the game is going to stun you and leave you wide open to get bent over by your opponent. Now this was annoying, but it'd be hilarious to see this online in a game like Street Fighter against all the Ryu, Ken, and Akuma scrubs who spam fireballs and dragon punches. You know who you are. The roster in this is the best thing going for the game. You've got a ton of great indie game characters like Juan from Guacamelee, you've got the Crusader from Darkest Dungeon, the Penitent one from Blasphemous, and a ton of others. It's a big roster as well, even if you take out the generic characters unique to Bounty Battle itself. And that's where the fun ends though, because there's very little in the way of moves that will feel unique to each character, and a lot of the moves feel totally useless. It's easy to pick a character in Smash and get a chuckle out of each character's moves, and they make sense when they're used. These are so poorly balanced that you'll end up just spamming the regular attacks most of the time. There are plenty of times that I'd stun lock my opponents or do infinite air juggles to them, stuff that would get me punched if I were playing with friends and doxed if I were online. Characters would get stuck in parts of the stages as well. Like this guy here. What is he, a washing machine? Anyway, this thing got stuck in this little crevice.
That's what she said!
And I waited for him to come out, and no luck, so I went in and killed him. And that's another bizarre thing with this game. The round ends the same way no matter if you win or lose. The only difference are you seeing the words good game or game over at the top. Like all the action stops, and then it shows your character standing there and you're like, did I win? How hard is it to just have the last blow land in slow motion and let your guy have a victory pose after? Hitboxes are a big problem in this as well because your moves will regularly miss your opponent even if you stood right next to them. Getting things to connect in this depends on what frame of the move you're in when you're at the opponent's hitbox, so using up your resources only to miss a move is really frustrating. The graphics in this are kind of charming at first, but the more time you spend playing, the more you realize that the animation is that really lazy quality you see in low-budget indie games where everybody's arms and legs are animated as separate assets, sort of like early 2000s era Flash games. And the character models vary between characters, and I thought that was a little jarring. Something I liked about Smash is that no matter who you picked, you can tell that they're all from Smash. But while the characters here are accurate to their own games, it's still weird to see the little mutant guy from Nuclear Throne look like a totally different art style than the robot from SteamWorld Dig or Owlboy. The stages all range in quality too, where some look decent and some don't. Every stage has this weird gloss over it though, and that includes the characters. Like the whole time I'm playing, I felt the need to clean my TV screen because it looks like there's a foggy film over it, like when you use the wrong glass cleaner on a mirror or something. Now before we wrap up this review, I'm going to suggest to you again that you stay far, far away from Bounty Battle, no matter how many times it goes on sale for $5 or less. I'd rather get in a turd throwing contest with the next monkey on a space shuttle to the sun than play this awful game again. There was an opportunity here to make a really great game with a roster of awesome characters, and had this gone with a different developer, we probably would have gotten something really cool instead of what was really a failure on almost every level. I mean, what a waste of good characters. Now, there's plenty of garbage left to review this summer, so make sure you subscribe to see what's next, and huge thank you to everybody who watches and comments. I really get a kick out of chatting with you all. Take care. Congratulations! You're one of an elite few to make it to the end of the video. Reward yourself by hitting the round subscribe button in the middle, and then check out the other goodies I've got and the links next to it.